us as we cover many an insane movie and numerous cult TV phenomenons. Are you ready to get jacked up? Are you with us? Then listen on. Jacked Up Review Show. It's the Jacked Up Review Show. Jacked Up Review Show. It's the Jacked Up Review Show. It's the Jacked Up Review Show. Jacked Up Review Show.
And welcome all. Hack here for another exclusive interview in the series of martial artists Q&A panels. Here with me tonight is Gary Choi, Rising Star Stunt Team. How are you, sir?
Thank you. I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
Likewise, thank you for the interest. What brought you to the scene? What made you say, hey, I love movies, I already got martial arts training and background in boxing. I want to keep displaying that and even coordinating fight scenes in movies.
Oddly enough, it really wasn't a choice. I started training in Kung Fu when I was 7, and my teacher, my Sifu at that time, pretty much like, hey, let's put you to work. And next thing you know, I was on a set and doing stunt work.
Stellar.
So yeah, it wasn't really much of a choice in my case. It was just like, here you go. And then I guess it just sort of carried on for a little bit. And then I sort of dipped off a little bit, mainly because, I hit high school and I thought I knew the way of the world. I thought, there's no way these skills are transfer out. And, what's so great about it? Got back into it from the movie Lone Ranger, actually.
Yep.
And then when I was running my martial arts school, one of my students came up to me and it's like, hey, we're trying to get into acting, and we found out that you used to do stunt work. Can you teach us? I was like, all right. So I started, I just basically hopped right back in because of those two factors.
Stellar. Now, overall, what would you say just keeps you going? Just what makes you get up in the morning and say, hey, man, I'm going to do a kick-ass job here, no matter what everyone else is doing?
I don't know. I just actually just love what I do. It just things like that, I just get up and I'm like, okay, let's do it. Let's just, keep going.
You're just a positive person. You just want to make a difference.
It really, I don't really say positive. Just, have you ever been, doing something for so long that you don't think about it, and then when you question whether or not you're going to do it, it's sort of a really foreign idea of like, well, yeah, why? Well, what else would I do, right?
No, I get it. That makes sense. Okay.
That's why I am with when it comes to Kung Fu. It's just so ingrained. It's like, well, what else is there? This is fun. Why?
Totally. You've done just so many short films. Have you tried to get any of those to kind of use as sizzle reels to like expand upon as feature-length movies, or?
We have a couple that are actually under NDA, so I really can't tell you which ones. But
okay.
Yeah, have gone to they've gone to that one. One of the let's see. I'm just saying, which one can I talk about?
I don't know.
There's one of them. It's called Project Valentina, and that was a sizzle reel that we actually short / sizzle that we did just for it, and that one is currently being looked at. We're shopping that around. That was a really fun one. That was also one of the craziest clusters I ever had to do, was because
oh dear.
That one we had over 15 stunt players that I had to coordinate and train while the main actor was flying in from California, and we didn't have to train with him. We only had maybe 2 days, 3 days tops, while gearing him up to know exactly which beat to do with everyone else. So that was a little crazy.
Mm-hmm.
What was another one that was fun one? One of the favorite ones, I know that our director, he wants to shop that around, is Book of Job, and that was a really good low budget SAG production we did with him that he's hoping to get that picked up as.
Gotcha.
But yeah, but there's about 3 or 4 others that is getting being shopped around. Just sadly under NDA, can't really talk about those too much.
All right. And when you design fight scenes and coordinate the material, how do you actually go about it? Like, do you get the input from the filmmakers, or do they often have some ideas and then you just add, your icing on the cake? You add your 2 cents then?
So how I go about it is, I always try to match the director's or the producer's vision, because at the end of the day, this production is not mine, it's theirs. It's a collaboration. So I try to match as close as to what they're wanting. So it usually involves, me sitting down, talking to them, reading through the script, and just getting a sense of what they're trying to look for. Because a lot of times I've also found out they don't know what they're looking for. They're just wanting some sort of action. So I try to, really figure that out. Now, the other ones that I do really have a lot of fun with, they usually come to me and say, "Hey, Gary, here's this project. Go wild, go nuts, just make what you want." I'm like, okay, that's what made Project Valentina so much fun, was because the director on that one, he's like, "Hey, here's my idea, this is the premise, go now, go what, just have fun with it." I was like, all right, let's do this. Which when it's turned over to me in that case, that's where I really have a lot of fun, and going back to what I know, which is making it the Hong Kong style fight choreography, which is at really intense and fast beats. But usually in other cases, I just try to match it as close as possible to what the director or writers or even the producer wants.
Stellar. And who were the main, who would you mainly credit as helping you get into some of these offers? Just word got around, hey, we're doing an independent movie and Gary's our guy.
We actually go a lot by word of mouth. That's just sort of been our business model. It's just our model of how we get everything. If not, it's just good old fashioned hustling. Just get out, boots on the ground, going out, just shopping around, and just putting as much as we can out on the social media, talking to everyone. I follow. I also make sure that our team, Rising Star Stunt team itself, we have 6 chapters now, is always constantly working, putting out more social media, so that way we're always being well known in any area we're in, and then we just go from there.
Gotcha. Okay, very cool. And what material are you pretty fond of so far? I mean, your material even includes a fan film of Mortal Kombat, so.
Can you say that one more time? I'm sorry.
What are you most proud of so far? Because your work includes a Mortal Kombat fan film.
Oh, wow. That's let's see. I think the Mortal Kombat, that was definitely up there. That was a lot of fun. That was probably one of the craziest ones we did. So the 2 stunt actors that I put on there, they're both from my A team, but the tricky part was one lives out here in New Mexico, the other one lives out in California. They had never met each other or trained with each other in their choreography, so I had to show them independently on what the beats were and how to construct it. They met up, I believe once, practiced an entire day, and we filmed it the very next, and under, I want to say 6 hours, and there was the final product. So that was a really fun one. It got pretty, that was just such a fast, turnover time. Another one, the other one that I absolutely loved is Arc Exodus with Johnny Young Bosch. Do you know of him?
Yeah, from Power Rangers. So yeah. How did that come around?
That was just a funny story. Me and him are friends, and he's been doing the con for a little while, and me and him got talking, and one day he just hits me up on, and I was like, "Hey Gary, you still doing all the stunt stuff?" I'm like, "Yeah, I am." He's like, "Cool. Well, I got a fun project. Do you want to be a part of it?" I'm like, "Yes, God, yes, I want to do this." And next thing I know, we're being flown out to Texas, and we're spending week and a half just going over every choreography. We met up with another team out there from New York, and and we're training and we're going everything. And one thing I have to say, Johnny is as good as you think he is, if not better. I mean, holy hell, that guy can pick up. We're making the choreography on the spot, and he's memorizing as we're going and hitting every single beat. And this is not just for like 1, 2, or 3 people. I'm talking about for like 6, 7, 10 people at a time, and he's just just figuring all that stuff out while making the film. I mean, it was absolutely amazing and great to work with. What was
Sweet.
another one? But yeah, that one, Book of Job, was another, just another fun one that I really, really liked. Mainly because that was, was just more of a fun one because it was just a small local project with me being able to work with a whole bunch of people who are just as passionate as I was. So it's one thing is of, hey, let's do this. Okay, let's do this. Okay, it was just that fun little, like, just keep amping it up,
For sure. And if you had your choice, who would you just love to work with?
Oh, wow, that's a long, long list. Honestly, I would love to be able to work with, the big four, Jackie Chan, Jet Li, Donnie Yen, and all the,
Tony Jaa, maybe?
Huh?
Tony Jaa?
Of course, he's part of the big four.
Any B-movie or direct-to-video legends like Olivia Grunner, Van Damme, or
I mean, all those guys I would love to work with. I mean, we grew up watching half these guys, so for me, it was just like, yeah, I want to work with them. I want to do everything.
man.
I mean, like I said, it's a long list. Sammo Hung, I'm sorry, he's a personal favorite for me.
He's a coordinator now as well. Yeah.
Yep. His style of choreographer, I really love. It's, he emphasizes on impact and power, and that's just something you don't really see in a lot of choreography. A lot of choreography we see currently is all about speed and finesse. So for me, it'd be just really fun to work with someone like him. Louis Tan, surprisingly, I would love to work with him.
Yeah, of Den of Thieves and the recent Mortal Kombat. Yeah, sure.
Yep. Surprisingly, I actually knew him better from his previous work on Iron Fist.
Oh, really? Okay, cool.
Yeah, if you watch, first of all, Iron Fist was just, everyone has their opinion on it. I was not a fan, personally. No, but there was one particular fight sequence that I absolutely fell in love with, and that was with Louis Tan in it. And he played a drunken master. And that was the first, when I first saw that, I was like, holy hell, this guy right here, he is, if I ever get a chance, I want to be able to work with him. I want to be able to, coordinate and, collaborate with him as a whole.
Have you seen some of his other earlier appearances?
Here and there. I mean,
you might remember him as the RPG henchman in the beginning of Olympus Has Fallen, but if you go back to his episode CSI Miami, you'll be treated to some juicy intimidation acting in at least one sword fight.
I remember that. It was, it was his, starting stuff, so no biggie on that one. But yeah, he did a really good job in all of those. I really hope that I can get a chance to work with him on that one. God, who's another person? Philip Nung. He's someone else I would love to work with. He's, but that one's more of a cultural, and me really wanting to give back to my heritage on that one, since he is a Hong Kong actor, and that is where I have my own cultural identity as. So I would really love to be able to do something on that level with him.
Sweet. So when you're looking at these interviews with these guys, what are you taking away from them, and how are they inspiring you?
From the people I want to work with, or
just your icons, your idols, because everyone's inspired by someone.
Oh wow! My big takeaway is, at least with my icons, the ones like the big four I was telling you about, they're all, it's a cultural identity for me.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, being, Hong Kong Chinese, Asian, much less here in America, I don't really get a lot of representation on the screen. But
Right.
what I do get, representation in is being identified is what is Asian style choreography,
Right.
So that's my biggest takeaway, and that's the thing I really want to keep promoting, because that's what was my biggest things is I see it and it's like, yeah, that's us. That's what I want to keep doing. That's what I want to keep showing off, and so when I'm watching them, I want to learn as much as I can, and that's the other reason I want to work with these guys is because I want to be able to continue that education and learning on what's the next thing I can step up on, what's the next thing I can do to keep promoting my culture on this one. And then the other takeaways is just the art, the level of dedication of it, that these guys can just hit with that precision, 20, 30, 170 beats, perfect every single time. I mean, you've all heard the story about Jackie Chan doing, what was it, 110 takes just on the fan flip.
Wow.
Yeah.
What set was that on?
That was, I believe that was a Drunken Master, or one of his older ones. And he was doing it was one there. He was, he's got big white fan, and he's doing his choreography, and he ends it. And he's supposed to hold the fan, flip it open, and then throw it up in the air. And it's supposed to flip once, twice, and he's supposed to catch it, and he fans himself and walks off. Mm-hmm. He couldn't get that in the first shot, so they did it 100 and some odd times just so they can land it. What's another one? Armor of God. He did that with Condor Heroes. So instead of Flan, it was in Condor Heroes. He jumps over a couple of trash can onto his motorcycle, takes out his sunglasses, and he has little chiclets sitting on his sunglass suspension holder, and just pops it in his mouth and keeps going. Well, trying to nail that every single time. He did. I think that was rumored him doing it about 20, 30 times just for that one shot.
Dedication.
Exactly. That type of focus, that type of, that's what I want. That's my takeaway is oh my God, that dedication, that focus, that ability to just go, no, I need to have this perfect, because when we are doing stunt work and fight choreo, you need to have that laser precision and focus, especially if you want it to look amazing each and every time.
Right. Okay. Well, very cool. Anything else we can expect from you in the future?
Well, this week is honestly, you caught me at a really, really good time, because holy crap, this week is super busy for me. Like I was telling you, Cameron, was so after today, this weekend we're going to a Comic-Con convention where there's going to be an action seminar. We're going to be helping out a buddy. His name is Mark D'Alessandro. He was Sylvester Stallone's stunt double back in the day.
Oh yes, I definitely recall seeing a picture of him. He did didn't he do? Was it him or Don McGovern who did basically all the falls out of the ring?
I believe they shared that actually, depending on that. He did. Oh my God, I'm forgetting the name. Judge Dredd.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, we're meeting up with him this weekend, and then as soon as we're done with that, we're off to Houston, Texas.
Really?
Yep, we're doing an entire feature film out there, and that's filming in and we're doing about 1, 2, 3.
I'm in Dallas, so if there's I'm in Dallas, so if there's any convention going on,
hey, we should meet up sometime. We're doing 5 days of shooting out there. Then after that, I have to come back up to New Mexico, and we have another feature film that we're doing out here, where we're coordinating it's like another version of I guess Total Recall.
Sweet,
futuristic. Can't really tell what's real, what's not real, sort of that type, mind fuck. But we got they're having us bring in 5 guys, total Russian Spetsnaz style, just come in and just make a badass kicking the ever living crap out of them. Then we are doing a video game previs out in Colorado. So then
doing motion capture or
part motion capture and part live action. Where they're doing they want to catch some live action scenes, and then they want to do some other motion capture scenes of test footage. So we got to go up there for that. That one's called The Four Horsemen of Apocalypse. It was actually based on a comic book series. So, hey, it'll be fun. And then I believe we have another trip out to California for another project, depending on how that one, if there's a yay or nay and what the budget's like, how that works.
Mm-hmm.
And back down to Houston again for another, to finish up the other one.
Right.
So, yeah, that's just this month. So we're just incredibly busy just for that one.
Damn. So you guys heard it all. Gary's got it going on.
As best as I can. I just, hustling as best I can, get my guys work, because that's my main concern is, me getting work, that's cool, but when you're running a team, I want my guys always getting work because they're working hard, training hard, they're earning their keep, if you will.
Absolutely. Well, thank you ever so much for being on here, and just keep us updated on your career. We'd love to keep following it.
Thank you so much. But yeah, next time out in Texas, Dallas area, I'll let you know. We'll definitely grab a drink. Sound good?
By all means. Yep.
We'll return after these messages.
JRS Podcast is proud to promote AutoCorrect, an independent film company with experienced industry professionals who can serve all your film industry needs. They include self-tapes, voice actor recordings, demo reel editing, script revisions, headshots, and much more. They're Actor Correct at your request. Book them on Instagram.
Hey, feeling down? Feeling low? Not enough podcasts about movies in your life? Why not try
They must be destroyed on sight.
the new Podcast Cure-All? Sure to get you right with the world and on a path to better living. We have exploitation, we have Italian horror, we have zombies, we have slashers, we have crime films, we have spaghetti westerns, we even have sci-fi and sex comedies. So take a dose of
They must be destroyed on sight.
as needed, and let the hosts, Lee Russell, Daniel Harper, Paul Romali, and the odd guest host cure what ails you.
Warning, may cause atrophy, African consumption, black fever, bone shave, chin cough, colic, cramp colic, dropsy of the brain, elephantitis, grocer's itch, jaundice, mania, miasma, mortification, palsy, Pott's disease, rheumatism, scurvy, St. Anthony's fire, summer complaint, and worm fit in some people. Consult a physician before listening.
Did you ever see a film at such a young age it left you traumatized with cinematic wounds? Necrophilia. It's a dead issue, man. Don't push it. Cinema Psyops is a weekly podcast documenting an ongoing experiment on the mind of an unwilling test subject.
No one should have to watch this movie.
Oh, no one should have to watch this?
No one should have to watch this movie.
Surprisingly, it's not a topic that a lot of people really want to tackle.
I'm shocked, prudes.
I know, really.
Right?
It's the next sexual frontier that no one wants to explore.
I am, in the most sincerest of senses, disappointed in you.
It takes a powerful goddess like Connie, jam her arm down the monster's throat and kill it. Oh, I'm still tripping out over that. Even as a kid, I was like, I gotta find a girl like that. Every week, I get a new look of disappointment that I never thought I could get out of her.
Unimaginable. At 12 years old, you should not be watching this movie.
Obviously.
At 13, you should not be. 14, you shouldn't be. I'm not entirely sure even 17-year-olds should be watching this.
Just because you're offended by something doesn't mean that you have the right to demand that it doesn't exist. Watching this film again, I had all of this like little nerd glee with everything that kept
little
popping
history
up.
doll popping up
absolutely.
at you.
So I totally loved this film.
Hey, I know why you couldn't see that. It's because your brain's warped from watching this shit at 12 years old.
Yeah, this is a rough movie. I told you ahead of time when we were getting ready to do it that it was
How
going to be a
could you
rough
watch
one.
this shit at 12?
Because physical wounds heal, cinematic ones don't. Listen to Cinema Psyops.
Hey everybody, I'm Corey.
And I'm Zach, and we're the hosts of Podcasting After Dark, a cast dedicated to late-night horror and sci-fi of the 80s and 90s, often found on HBO and Cinemax.
You know, the movies your parents didn't want you watching as a kid. You can find us every other week on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, and Stitcher.
This is what you want.
This is what you get.
Greetings, friends. My name is Dean Legero, and I'm the host of the 3324 podcast. I invite you to join me and my lifelong friend Eric Kuber to come with us as we discuss the music and movies that shaped our life. Each week, we'll pick an album or film that we really connect to. and not only give you some great info and trivia, but also discuss, debate, and celebrate what it means to us and the journey it took us on. We also look forward to hearing from you and giving us some of your picks for us to check out and discuss. I think it'll be a really fun experience, so come along with us for the ride. You can find us on your favorite podcast provider and at 3324.buzzsprout.com. Thanks for your time, and welcome to the 3324 family.
It's time, let's check our cue, baby. Pair it with a couple brews, baby. We love good movies. We love the bad ones too. So we watch them all and pass their lessons on to you. Oh yeah. Everything I learned from movies helps to make life a little bit groovy. With a one-last plot holes and gratuitous movies. It's time to get busy with your friend Steve and Izzy at eilfm.podbean.com.
We now continue with our program.
Follow us on the web on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The podcast is available on Podbean, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor, Apple, and anywhere else podcasts are available. Feel free to review our show and leave comments on any of those sites. Thanks a million for listening.
It's a jacked up review show. It's a